Hello, everyone. This is Will.
This is Alex.
Welcome back to another episode of They Mostly Come Out at Night.
Oh boy. Absolute yeet. Mostly.
Yes. Oh my god. I was not expecting to have this much fun with this movie. I didn't know what to expect going in, but I didn't expect the first iteration of Idle Hands either.
Yes. Because mind you, I think me and you are in the same boat. We love Idle Hands.
Yes, Idle Hands is a great movie. It's hilarious.
It's a great horror comedy.
Yes.
Little did I know that some Mexican guy back in the 80s made a fucking this Idle Hands meets.
Honestly,
I don't even know.
Unintentionally so, but just as hilarious.
Yes, unintentionally so.
Very unintentional, but they created a comedy.
They created a fucking hilarious, insane thing.
And it's hilarious because I'm here for it. You know, I love weird shit like this. I think it's great, like, to see unique, like, horror movies that I didn't know existed.
Well, I've never heard of this fucking movie.
Neither. I mean, I've never have. If anyone out here has heard of Demonoid, like,
yeah, have you?
Special shout out to them because, like,
good
who
job.
the fuck has heard of this?
I've never heard of this. I don't know if this has ever even had like a fucking proper release. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure someone saw this in the theater back in 1981.
I think my favorite thought of this entire movie, because it's about a possessed hand, basically. My favorite thought.
I know what you're gonna say.
My favorite thought of the entire movie is the effect team had to make this hand, right?
I know exactly what you're gonna say.
There was, I want this job, to be honest. There was a special guy in the effects team that had to pick up the hand and just fucking throw it across the screen.
Because there's multiple scenes where you see the hand like traveling really quickly.
Because it like jumps. It's like in Idle Hands, you know how it can jump up onto things and like.
Or if you've seen like Addams Family.
Yeah.
Because there's multiple scenes of it traveling really fast, and it's obviously just a guy off screen throwing a plastic hand.
It's
either that, it's either them throwing it so it goes super fast, or if it goes like fast but not super fast, it's like a guy holding it up on like a fishing wire, just moving it across the screen.
I guess the third one you could do is like just like a guy's hand that they did the makeup on, but they're not showing the rest of the wrist, so it looks like a free hand,
like a fucking cut off hand.
Yes. But like, think of like Idle Hands and Addams Family and all that stuff where you see like just an idle hand like roaming around, but like way worse effects.
Some scenes
I get it's good effects for the year, but like, I mean, Idle Hands and like Addams Family like had the technology to do it better,
but they also had the money.
I think it's just hilarious to see like a low budget Idle Hand movie where they had no budget and they're just like, let's create this hand and we're just going to throw it around and fucking make it do some weird shit.
Weird shit is right.
Like the whole movie, it just does some weird shit. Like not like Idle Hands where it like sharpens it's like nails in the pencil sharpener.
Or he tries to microwave it.
Yeah.
No, because this is not a horror comedy per se.
This is an actual horror. I think they were actually going for like actual horror, like no dark comedy or anything like that.
No, but it very much is entertaining.
Again, unintentionally funny.
It's fucking amazing.
And I'm so here for it. I love this movie, actually. It's one of the best comedies I've seen in quite a while, actually.
Because the basic idea is there's like this couple that they have a mine in Mexico, and I guess they're looking for silver. But they come across this like...
So all the townspeople are like super superstitious about this mine because like they have this local legend where like all their left hands were cut off to appease some like demon.
Yeah.
And they would like roam from hand to hand and like possess people and like did all this weird shit, and then they locked it away and like finally contained it in like this iron coffin.
and it's at the very bottom of this mine. But everything's going relatively fine until they uncover these mummies, and then all the workers are like, fuck it. But essentially, they, of course...
Well, the two fucking main leads, like,
free the hand.
Stupid ass people, because it has to be a horror movie. People have to do stupid shit to unleash the evil.
They don't necessarily have to do stupid shit, but in this movie,
they do stupid shit to unleash the evil, because they go down in this tomb, and then the guy's like, "Hey, yeah, look at this iron coffin, whatever, it doesn't matter."
But they of course unleash the thing, and then the absolute mayhem of the rest of the movie commences.
It's great, like you said, this will have to be a rambler, but like just think this is like the basic setup. So they find the coffin, the guy unleashes it, and then it starts possessing people. It roams from like person to person. It can possess people very easily, and it makes them chop off their hand because it's trying to find its rightful owner.
Which in this case is going to be the main woman.
Yes,
and
because
like,
she's the
other person.
She was like really close to the guy who let it out.
She was right there.
Yes.
But I love movies about like something going from person to person. Like my absolute favorite is The Hidden.
The Hidden's great.
My absolute favorite fucking movie like that. But there's like
Hidden, The Fallen. You could argue The Thing.
The Thing, arguably, like Invasion of the Body Snatchers. There's one called from the early 90s called The Fifth Power. Mm-hmm. But like just movies from like something going from person to person causing mayhem.
It has to travel from body to body by some like thing happening to that other person.
In the Hidden, it's a fucking alien. In Fallen, it's like a demonic thing.
It possesses people after they die, right? In the Fallen, am I mistaken?
Yeah.
Like after they die, like it goes up and like goes into another person.
Yeah. In the Hidden, it's just like this alien parasite that possesses people. But it's just like I love movies like that.
Yes.
I fucking love it because they're.
You can even argue like It Follows, where
It Follows,
they have sex and that's how you pass on the entity.
But the good thing about that is that it just makes for great like movie making, because it's like by logic of the plot, the movie is always moving.
Well, and that's the other thing. It's like it's like a good vehicle to keep a movie moving,
because
like at a good pace, so it doesn't slow down at all.
Because there's always. You know that every time that person's on screen, they're possessed by this thing.
Well, it's also like a race against time, right?
Yeah.
Because this thing's coming for people, and it knows how to transfer itself to different people, and there's basically no stopping it. So it creates great tension. The plot, it doesn't slow down at all, which is great.
It also creates it also gives your movie an excuse for lots of things, lots of mayhem,
lots of like violence to happen, because if you're doing this kind of movie, obviously if the thing transfers by killing its host or doing something to its host, you're gonna have a lot of violent shit happening, because it's a movie and you want to entertain people.
And in this movie, it's just constant, and it's fucking great.
This hand knows how to cut itself and sever itself from other people.
Can we just say the way this movie opens like kind of sets in many ways expectations.
Yeah, it's weird. It's like you get these cultists following this chick around, and I guess she's the possessed one at the moment, because that's...
Well, because she's definitely possessed. I didn't think about it at the time, but...
This is why... So this is...
In hindsight.
This scene, I didn't know at the time, but this scene is setting up how they trapped the hand in the metal coffin.
Because...
We thought it was just them, like...
Killing a woman.
Just killing a woman. But, you later get explained that this was like them trying to save people.
Well, also, because in that beginning scene, like as a guy is trying to like subdue her, she like lifts him up and breaks his neck with just one hand.
Yeah, we should have mentioned this idle hand has like super strength.
But she breaks his fucking neck, and they subdue her, and for no reason at all, because it's a fucking B movie from the 80s.
They like rip her shirt open.
They rip her shirt open.
In the first like 2 minutes, we get boobs.
Because
why not, I guess.
You know why? Because why not, Will? Why not? The movie got its R-rated quota out of the gate.
It's kind of funny because that's the only nudity you see in the entire movie.
It's the only nudity, and it's because you get that.
It's unnecessary, but it's there. So
it's there for your lizard brain. And they cut off the fucking hand, and you keep getting these flashes of this fucking like
demon statue.
All I can say is look at the poster of the movie.
And that's the statue.
That thing shows up all the time, and I mean, they're very proud of it. I get why. It's a cool shot.
It is a cool statue. I mean, there's like the lightning behind it, and they do like a quick flash of light. You don't see it for very long, so you don't get to like notice any like mistakes they've made in the statue or what it's made of or anything. You just get a silhouette of a statue. It looks cool. You see it for like a split second every time.
They got the smoke machine behind it.
It's great. It's great. The shot actually looks pretty good. So,
but they cut off this hand, and they put it in this fucking like little metal hand coffin.
It's a little tiny coffin made for hands. It's actually kind of adorable if you think about it.
It's adorable.
It's an adorable little hand coffin.
But obviously, like at the time watching this intro, I was like, I don't know what the fuck's going on, and now it makes sense.
Yes.
But the rest of it is just chaos, and it's also great because it's a movie that like it starts out fine, but as like the plot kicks in, the entertainment value just fucking ramps up.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
And the mayhem. Oh god, it's great. My favorite little like tidbit that I just keep thinking about is after the hand possesses the husband of the main character.
Yeah.
He blows up the fucking mine. Like, he just blows the
fucking
thing. Yeah,
he leads a bunch of miners into it that were all scared. And he, like, forces them to go down there and then, like, just explodes the mine.
He explodes the mine.
He kills a bunch of miners.
And fucks off to Vegas.
He just yeets himself into Vegas and starts gambling. Because,
and winning money.
Because the hand will let you, like, you know, it's like... It's a possessed hand, so it gives you certain powers.
Apparently.
I didn't know gambling was one of these powers... But
you know what?
But also super strength is. But people are like easily corrupted by it because they want the power.
Will, gambling is a vice.
Yes.
So, but apparently it makes him super lucky because he just wins. He wins so much that his picture's in the newspaper because his wife shows up to the fucking casino like, hey, like showing the newspaper like, hey, where is this guy? He's my husband.
Well, this also leads to like two people like thinking he's this like big high roller and he's like cheating the system, right? So they want to know how he's doing it so they can win a bunch of money.
Winning.
So they kidnap him and take him to this fucking
shack in the
Is this
desert.
The scene that you can't stop thinking about?
Well, I was just thinking about the fact that like for no reason at all, like the hand possesses him and just wants to gamble.
Yeah.
It doesn't do anything else. It's just living its life, gambling until two fucking like dickbags are just like, what the fuck? And kidnap him and threaten to cut off the hand.
Well, okay, so I guess this is where my confusion comes in. Maybe I should talk about this at
confusion. Well, if you think about this movie too hard, your confusion will be fucking endless.
Okay, fair enough. But I guess no. One thing that in all the fucking mayhem and stuff that I'm confused about is in this scene. These two people try and cut off this guy's hand, and then it like kills both of them, and then it like dumps gasoline all over himself. But here's my I guess my thing is after this it explains that the hand is after the woman because it's the other owner of the
other
hand.
person. Yeah.
So why would it kill its own host?
My thinking, and I'm 99% sure this is why. Because after the hand murders the two people, including which they do this multiple times and it never gets old. Like there's like a woman there and the hand like picks her up and caves her fucking face in.
Yeah, and it's like they put like extra skin on the actress and like just like have it mash her skin.
So you see it like mashing.
It actually looks pretty cool. It like you know exactly what's going on.
Well, and
it makes a crunching sound.
I appreciate the extra special effects.
Yes.
But it crunches her face in, and the guy is like horrified apparently because he tries cutting off his hand, and then it like rebels against him. And after it rebels against him, is when it like decides to fucking kill him.
Is that why it's like, hey, fuck you! You tried to kill me.
Pretty much.
Listen,
the hand was living its life, gambling, winning money, getting hoes, and then the guy fucking rebelled against it. And it's like, nah.
It's like, nah, son.
But this scene is hilarious.
You think you can fucking try and murder me? I'm gonna fucking murder you.
The scene is fucking hilarious because it like cracks his other hand. that he tries fighting it with, and then it like pushes him into the corner of this shack.
It literally reminded me of the scene from Evil Dead 2 where
where he's fighting the
it was his Ash's hand starts taking like control of him, and like he has to have a fight with his hand.
That's literally what's happening, because it's like it takes like the fucking like there's like this gas can in the...
and he's like trying to like stop it, but it like dumps gasoline all over.
But the favorite thing is the actor's like, no. No,
no! He's dumping gasoline all
it's
over
just
himself,
sloppily dumping gas.
and he like stumbles around the thing, and like the hand finds a lantern, like
and takes it and just throws it on the ground.
On the ground,
and then the guy's like on fire and jumps out of the shack, and the hand buries itself in the dirt
to like, so it doesn't get burned. This scene is actually
This scene is amazing.
It's the first of the ridiculousness, and I love it.
This scene is incredible.
I'm so here for it.
Like, this scene is when I was like, when I went from like, yeah, this movie's fine, to, okay, this movie's great.
And so, like, I don't know, like, some things happen, but it also possesses, like, a cop. But I love the way it does this, because...
Well, you have to mention, because essentially the woman shows up, basically... For reasons unexplained, I say it's because they wanted to trim the runtime. After they bury this guy...
I think we should mention this movie's only an hour and 19 minutes.
It's only an hour and 19 minutes, thankfully.
Yes.
But after they bury this body, this burned body, the woman knows.
Yes.
She knows it's her husband, and she knows that the hand is fucking possessed by the demon.
For no other reason other than the fact that they just trimmed the fat.
Thank you.
Who cares?
Thank you.
And no one reacts to how ridiculous this whole situation is.
No.
They just don't care. They just want to stop the hand.
Well, because the woman knows.
Runtime.
Because our main character, 20 minutes into the movie, knows exactly what's happening, and it's fine. So there's no, like, shock. Other than the people getting murdered, I guess. Which is fine. But they bury this body, and they want to look at it, and it's... Oh, my God. There's this scene where it's just, like... You hear, like, cracking.
This is one of my favorite scenes of the whole movie.
You laughed your ass off.
Dude, it is so fucking funny to watch. Like,
well, because, like, you hear this cracking noises, and I'm like, oh, it's coming out of the coffin.
So, here's what I thought, right?
I know what you thought. This is what I thought, too.
The hand's possessed, so it's going to crawl its way out of the fucking coffin because the rest of the corpse has been burned enough where the skin would just, like, decay off of the hand.
Yeah.
So it could just crawl out, right?
Yes.
You would think.
You thought... Well, because they zoom in, right? There's like this dirt pile, and they zoom in.
In a normal movie...
And you thought that they were going to zoom in on this dirt pile.
In a normal hand possession movie...
And you get a slow shot.
You see the hand coming out of the dirt.
Slowly, right?
Right, and then crawling across, right? Not with the rest of the body. Just the hand, just fucking living its life and going
That's
along.
what you thought.
That's what... I thought wrong, though, because these are not normal filmmakers.
No, thankfully. Because instead, it zooms in on the fucking thing, and then you get a fucking ultra close-up of, like, a fucking bag exploding out of the dirt.
This hand...
I was so confused. I was like...
This hand had the audacity to yeet the entire body.
Okay, but we weren't sure that it was the body until later. But... You just get this close-up of something exploding out of this dirt, and I was like, was that the hand, or did it just take the whole body with it? Later on, we see it's the whole body.
It yeeted. It had to get out of the. It had to get out of the coffin, so it just took the whole fucking body with it, and reanimated this guy's corpse.
Exploded out of it,
and it reanimated this guy's corpse.
Because they come up to the cot, because the woman and this, like, priest who becomes a big character, they walk up to the fucking dirt mound, and it's, like, exploded outward. But they get a cop to show up and investigate.
And it's funny, because the cop's investigating the graveyard, and we see the reanimated corpse just slamming its hand into a fucking cop car.
Well, no, it, like, opens the door, and sticks its hand, like, in the door, and starts slamming the door on it to sever the hand. And then it severs it. And the
honks the horn,
and the cop opens the door, and it fucking takes him.
It possesses the fuck. Now, for some reason, they play around with how quickly it possesses things, because sometimes it takes like 2 seconds, other times it takes a few minutes. So it's like,
Well, to be fair,
they're just like
to be fair, it when it jumps on his face, and then it like cuts away for like a minute to them being, because they hear a gunshot and then they walk outside and then they see the cop just in the car driving the fuck away.
Yeah.
And they find the dead body with the missing hand. And then movie fucking madness continues.
So they kind of show a little bit of this cop doing some things, and he's kind of acting evil because he's possessed. We already know this.
So they're thinking like, or the woman's like, oh, it's the cop. And the priest is like, no, like, come on, this is insanity. And then the next day he's like at a gym, and the cop's like a fucking, he's like training at the gym, but he's like a boxer. And they have like a little sparring match just for fun. And apparently he's like super strong because he like basically knocks him the fuck out. But as soon as he sees a cross, he just like, oh, nope, I'm leaving.
Did you happen to notice that we're accidentally doing this chronologically now?
Accidentally. Well, because after this, the insanity this is how the insanity goes. Because the next day, he arrests the woman after she's at church and basically tries to convince the priest.
Well, and he takes her to like a fucking plastic surgery place.
My favorite thing. I don't know why this is in the movie, but the fact that the crazy man who made this like threw this in there, it's just like, you did this for me.
Yes.
This is a present for me. Mm-hmm. Because the cop busts open the door, and there's like a millisecond where you see the fucking plastic surgery guy macking on the nurse.
Yes.
And it's like, there's no reason for that to be in the movie.
So the cop pulls a gun, and he's like, cut off my hand or I'm going to kill you. And like, literally, okay, so here's the thing. No one reacts to these situations.
No.
They just go with it.
They go with it because he straps her up, and then the guy's like about to like, he's got him and his nurse. They've got all the anesthesia, the morphine. They're all ready to go, and he's like, nope. No drugs, just cut it off.
So this dude uses like a high-tech laser that cauterizes something about cauterizing it while it's cutting off the hand. I don't know. But anyway,
he cuts it off, and oh my god, mayhem. Fucking mayhem, because he cuts it off and it starts moving around.
I love how the nurse tries to run away and the hand like immediately grabs the revolver on
the desk
and like shoots her.
And then the cop takes a baton and wants to, like, because now he's not possessed.
I love how the hand grabs the baton and just tosses it away. Like,
well, because he starts
like, fuck
smacking it, and it tosses it away, and then it fucking caves his face in. And then the doctor tries fighting it, and it possesses him as the woman runs away. And so now we get this uncle. Someone's uncle
keeps stabbing her with the fucking syringe,
trying
to inject her with the fucking drugs. He stabs her like 3 or 4 times. It looks so fucking stupid.
Well, he just keeps stabbing her, like he stabs her in the back. And then he stands her up, he stabs her in the neck.
I love it, because he keeps stabbing her, but each time she gets, like, weaker and weaker, so she's, like, trying to, like, limber her way to the fucking door while he keeps getting, like, stabbed by this fucking syringe.
And it's, like, my favorite is it's, like, this comically large syringe.
Yeah, with nothing in it, which is hilarious.
But it's like a fucking sci-fi syringe. Like, we had to, like, we in the audience.
It's jumbo size.
Yeah, like, we in the audience couldn't take a small syringe.
It looks like a fucking elephant trank. Like, it's fucking huge. And it's just like him stabbing her multiple times. It's fucking hilarious. So he knocks her the fuck out.
And the cop finds like her car and everything. And then someone somehow, like a cop tells them like, hey, yeah, like this guy, you know, like his car's been parked outside this fucking plastic surgery clinic for hours.
So they go, he gets there, and like he walks in on the fucking plastic surgeon, and like,
cutting off his own hand
while she's like unconscious on the table. And so he fights them. We get this epic car chase where this fucking
oh my god, because the guy runs out and knocks out a cop, like punches out a cop. And they get in the cop car, and the cop chases the uncle down the streets. We get 2 cars that get flipped over for no reason other than it looks epic, and I assure you, it does look great.
We get a scene of where they're like along like a train, and like the guy gets up on the train but can't get off because the hand is like nah, and then like I love this scene because it's like the hand like can see things. It sees that there's this giant water tower coming,
And the guy's like, no.
so like
no!
it like holds itself and like tries to like sever the hand,
But it doesn't work.
But it doesn't work. So then it starts crawling to the railroad and like puts its hand underneath the wheels.
And then the wheels cut off the hand. And the hand...
it just attaches itself to the bottom of the train.
Some guy throws it and it just attaches itself to the bottom of the train. Like a little...
glued like a fake clenched fist to the bottom of a train. And then
it just rolls away.
And then filmed it.
And it just rolls away.
This film is so extra, but I love it.
And that's it. Like... And then after all this shit, like he just drops the woman off at her motel.
And everything's fine for a minute.
And just drive away, and then they drives up, and there's this cop, and there's like all these like flares on the road, and
well, they're like, hey, can you give him his last respects? Like, this guy just recently died.
And then he goes up, and it's a car accident, and the guy's missing a left hand.
And the woman's just trying to relax. She gets in bed, and there's a hand.
And the guy
it starts crawling after her.
And, she finds the fucking the metal coffin, and it's like crunched to shit. I was like, oh, I got it. They're gonna have to like take the hand and put it in the metal coffin to
you would
kill
think
it, right?
that because it's what they did at the beginning of the movie.
Yes, but
and you think like, oh, okay, so that's how you kill this thing.
No, not anymore.
Absolutely not. No,
not he fucking crunched the shit out of it
because he's like, nah, he fucking ain't getting rid of me.
But then they get out because the priest shows up, and they get out of the motel and they're running away, and we get the hand opening the fucking window screen, and then some guy just taking the hand,
yeets it off the balcony,
and just flopping it off the balcony
onto
the car, and it drives away. They get to the church, and then we get the thing just coming from the bottom of the car, and it
yeets itself downstairs.
And opens the door.
Like football, like just threw this thing down the fucking stairs. It hits the door it just flops on the door.
As they're like, getting ready to battle with this fucking demon hand, and like, of course, it cuts the fucking phone lines. It cuts the power.
It had time to lock all the fucking doors in the church.
All the doors are locked, and through demon powers.
Listen, I'm not trying to find logic in this movie.
Are you
joking?
There is none. By this point,
but there is no possible way this fucking tiny ass hand.
Well, it doesn't even do that.
2 seconds had all this time to.
No, it doesn't even do that. It uses demon powers to open doors and close them. Like it there's candles. It blows all the candles out. Like logic's gone. It's just. You have to accept it, and I did.
Well, you have to accept it like all the fucking people in this movie did.
Yeah, because
no one questions it.
No one questions it because it shows up, and there's this fucking part where there's like this statue. There's like it's like a I don't even know what it is. It's like a fucking Jesus in a robe, and
it's like one of the apostles. I think.
It's a mannequin essentially, and. It knocks its fucking like actual like fake mannequin hand off.
It looks like something that doesn't belong in a church.
It's fine
because it's like an actual mannequin.
For purposes of this scene,
get the new Jesus robe.
It's fine.
Fucking the mannequin just like posing as like fucking fashionista Jesus.
Well, it's just got his like hands crossed, and one of the hands is missing, and it's on the floor, and he looks up.
Called this.
And. The actual fake hand is there pretending. The fake hand is pretending to be attached to the mannequin.
This fake hand is the best.
And then some guy,
the best villain we've seen.
Some guy with the hand on a fishing wire, just kind of like swings it at the camera, and it starts fighting the priest.
I would love, like, how easy do you think these special effects were? Like, they just had to have a hand, just like floating everywhere.
To be fair. We do get lots of scenes of like the hand moving around, so clearly
there's some mild animatronics.
So there's some mild animatronics. So it's not the laziest thing we've seen.
No,
because trust me.
But it'd be pretty easy to just like throw a hand at people. And
no,
that's your scares.
That part's easy. Relatively. I mean, trust me, it could have been even worse because at least like the hand that they throw has like, has like the skin creases on it. Because they did tease you with that mannequin hand because the mannequin hand is like smooth. It's like fucking, it's like a baby. It's smooth. They could have just thrown like a smooth hand at the camera.
Well, this is also my favorite, one of my other like hilarious parts. I don't know why I lost my shit at this. But the hand, like the priest is battling with the hand, and I'm gonna move the microphone away from my mouth. But literally, the woman is at the other side of the church and starts deciding.
Oh yeah,
she starts running after Adam.
Well, because she sees,
but decides that the entire time she's running, she's just gonna say, "No."
Well, because they literally have like the camera following her across this long hallway, and the whole time she's screaming no. The
entire time. It reminded me of Trolls 2 when he's like, they're eating her and then they're gonna eat me.
Oh my god! Literally. Because he's like battling with his hand and it's on his face, and eventually like she's like, take me, and it like comes to her, and then he starts fighting it again, and it takes over him.
Bad move, because then he has like powder in his hand and it's possessed him.
And then he's trying to kill her, but he like for some reason there's all these like stained glass like decorations.
Apparently he makes them. I'm assuming he makes them because there's like a bunch of stained glass shit.
Well, we saw a brief scene of him making one. So he makes them, but instead of the hand, in its hatred of all things holy, just like starts knocking them over.
Making the priest like smash every like religious artifact he can find.
As he's looking for her, and they go up to this like room where he makes all this stuff, and he, of course, for good measure, there's one just standing there. He has to just casually
just knocks it over.
Just knock it over.
It's like it's literally like a cat just knocking shit over on the counter, but like he just sees religious shit and has to destroy it.
Yeah, because he's not like angry. He's just kind of like meh.
Yeah, it's not in anger because he doesn't yell or grunt or anything. He just like pushes it over like a fucking cat just pushing over a glass off a fucking counter. And then like it's just a mild annoyance, but he just wants to see it break.
He just can't handle it. And then the woman's in the corner, and they have this like tussle.
His latest work. They have a tussle in between
with this giant like stained glass like window thing. They have a tussle. Then he punches through it with his hand, and it's like...
And the priest, like, gives her, like, a cue, just, like, because she has, a file in her hand.
It's like a sharp file, and he gives her, like, a cue, so she gives the file to the hand.
She puts her face in the hand.
And he's just like, accept evil, accept death, and then he takes the thing, and he's about to poke her.
He's gonna stab her, but she pulls her head away at the last second, and it stabs the wrist of the hand.
And it stabs through the hand, and now the hand's like trying to escape.
Now,
it can't.
Why? It has super strength. Why can it not break through some fucking glass?
To be fair, it is injured.
It is injured, and I guess it is like a religious glass. Maybe that's
so it is
has to do with
injured,
something.
But then it gets more extra because he's like, give me the blowtorch.
This is where the like people in the movie not giving a shit about what's happening in the plot takes an all-time high.
Well, because he takes this blowtorch,
like, it just reaches its fucking absolute fucking limit at this point. Like the suspending your disbelief is like fucking maximum at this point. It's like you thought all the other shit was insane.
No,
like get ready for this shit because like this dude has no reaction to what's about to happen.
No, nothing. Like he takes this fucking thing, this blowtorch, and just blowtorches his hand.
He just barbecues his fucking hand with no screaming, no reaction. He just looks at her, just like, yeah, that's right. I'm burning my fucking hand.
He looks mildly annoyed. Mildly annoyed, but he barbecues his hand, and then I'm not joking.
Well, because we can also, I mean, like we know the people that possesses still feel pain.
Apparently not him.
We've seen it the entire movie, but not the priest because he's just like, I've accepted it. Just
well,
like,
his pain is the mild annoyance.
Yes.
There he has. And then after this, I'm not joking. It's just like them and him saying them on a boat and him saying a prayer and him tossing the ashes into the sea. And I was like, this is very like quick, but we know because there was like 4 minutes of movie left.
We know because the movie didn't end there. That's how we know, because it continued after
also,
this.
it's a horror movie, and listen, you have to have the fucking gotcha.
Because it would have been easy.
Too easy.
To just have a freeze frame of him just pouring the ashes, freeze frame, end movie, right?
No. Well, we get another sudden ending.
We got a gotcha moment.
It's a horror movie. There's got to be a gotcha.
Yeah.
A B horror movie, there's got to be a zinger at the end.
As far as gotcha goes, this is pretty epic.
Oh, I love it because we'll get to it. Because I mean this whole scene is just insane. Because it's just her at home watering her plants,
like a knock at a window,
and then she starts walking, and there's a puddle of water on the ground.
And there's like a knock at the door, and she's like inspecting the puddle of water. She's like, "I'm coming," and like she opens the little like peephole thing, and the hand bursts through, and you think it's like
the hand,
but it's like just the delivery guy, and he's like, "Sorry, like
your doorbell's not working."
Yeah.
And so he's like, "I got a package for you." He gives her the package, leaves. She starts walking away. There's more water, and there's like a
piece of seaweed.
I didn't know it was seaweed at first. It just looked like a fucking...
It doesn't look like seaweed because it's too far back to notice, but we know now it's seaweed.
But it's just like
you're probably already piecing this together.
It's like a leaf and like a vine.
You're probably piecing this all together by yourself if you haven't watched the movie by this point.
Because she goes upstairs,
happening.
And then again, she's about to open the present or the package.
So I didn't piece it together until this moment that she's on the desk when she finds the other...
Yeah, well, I was initially very, very, very... very fucking confused.
I don't know if I was confused because I was like thinking like, oh, like, you know, I don't know, maybe it's, I don't know. But anyway, so she's on she's like notices more water on the desk and then picks up a piece of seaweed, and I'm like, oh.
Well, no, she opens the package.
Right. You're right, and finds a piece of seaweed.
She finds a piece of seaweed at the very top, and then she goes through it more.
There's a black candle.
And there's a black candle.
With like a glass bulb, like candle holder.
And then she puts it down, and then just starts thinking, she's just like kind of wondering what the fuck, and then she hears the faucet dripping. Drip, 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 drip.
And she looks over, and a hand appears on the sink.
The hand appears on the sink, crawling out, and then the guy with the fishing wire takes the hand, throws it at the camera, and it's like in her hair. And she's just being fucking like zoomed around the room.
Screaming the whole time.
And the candle lights up. The black candle lights up, and she's just screaming and screaming. The camera's going insane.
And we get our money shot.
And then we get the hand takes her head
and just smashes it through a glass coffee table.
Smashes through a coffee table. We get like a brief shot of like her face all bloody.
It's like obviously a mannequin.
It's fine.
But like they show it for so little time that you like.
It's fine.
It doesn't matter.
You get what it is.
Yeah.
And it's just, I'm not joking. It just cuts to credits.
Like it smashes her fucking face through a glass coffee table, and that's where they end the movie.
And it cuts to credits, and I don't know why, but every time you watch one of these fucking insane, nonsensical bullshit movies, and they do some insane thing at the end, and it just cuts to credits, it will never not be epic.
It's kind of like, you know how, like, perfectly edited screams are hilarious?
Yes.
Where they, like, cut the scream, like at the exact right moment to cause, like, mass hysteria.
Yes.
Because it's hilarious. That's like how these movies end. It's like they cut it at the exact right moment that you're just like, wow, that was fucking good.
Well, because it's like, you know what? I'm going to be very fucking filthy here. It's like, it's like when you masturbate, you know? And you come, so to speak. Okay? You know, no one likes the after feeling.
No.
Exactly.
But you love the moment.
And that's what they do.
The climax.
This is like, it's like it's like, what if, like, you climaxed and boom. That's this movie. Because, you know, if you climaxed and then there was, like, we had, like, a fucking epilogue, it would be like that post-masturbation depression.
Yeah.
Where you'd be like, you just feel kind of
It's like when you, like, It's like when you fap and actually accidentally fall asleep, like, and then you wake up and you're just like, "Fuck."
Yeah. Or you're just like, oh, why did I do that? Why the fuck did I just waste my time? What the fuck? Why am I doing? I gotta kill myself. Like, that's what it would be. But no, it cuts right at climax when you're at the best feeling of your life, and it just ends, and you're just like, I'm happy. That's what it's like.
Yeah.
Because if they did throw in a fucking thing at the end, like a minute-long thing, it would have ruined it.
Yeah.
I mean, it wouldn't have ruined it. I mean, we still would have had that insane fucking thing. But it wouldn't have been as great. And that's why every time one of these movies does that, it's fucking amazing.
I don't know. They just know how to do the ending. I don't like some freeze frames are okay, but like
It wasn't a freeze frame.
but like I don't like when movies just end.
Yeah.
Like when they just like don't know how to end it, so they're just like
Just end it.
okay, end. Like they're just like I don't know, some guy says something, end.
Well, the thing with this is like it's a definite ending.
Yes.
It's not like
Well, because we know the fucking hand can't be beat.
what's the fucking movie? Oh my god, it's one of those stupid found footage exorcism movies where it just ended and it was like there was literally like a link to a website on the screen and it just told you to go to the website basically to see the rest of the movie.
Oh, yeah.
I think it was like The Last Exorcism or something.
Yeah.
It's not like that. Like there is an actual ending here and
That
you
is
get
what
it.
we call a gimmicky ending.
That is what we call they had no idea what to do.
Exactly. So like we just created like a web series. Go watch that.
They're just like, fuck, we don't know what to do. Fuck it, cut to black. No, this is like, no, they just like said, fuck it, we don't need any more. It's 80 minutes, do it. Just fucking.
So they just smash a mannequin's face through a fucking glass pane.
They just
And
put
they
some
just
red
end
paint,
it.
some like red like nail polish on a fucking mannequin, and just smash it through a coffee table and movie. And you know what? I fucking love it.
It appeased our lizard brains.
Oh man, every time they do it, my lizard brain is tickled.
Yep.
Like it's fucking great.
This is seriously, it's hilarious to watch. Like, if you like just ridiculous horror movies, go watch this movie.
This is a lot of fun.
It's fun to watch. I think, like, get a friend or two and watch it. Like, just cause, like, get some alcohol, get a friend or two, because it's a blast to watch.
This movie, like that whole scene, that whole sequence, from like that fucking body exploding out of the grave to like the car chase and the hand cutting itself off.
It does not let up.
That like 20-minute span is golden.
It's packed too with content.
That's another thing. There's no like time wasted in this thing. I'm not joking. Like there is like zero character development in this fucking thing.
Oh, there's no. Who cares?
Like the two, like the woman and her husband, they're just looking for gold, not gold, silver in a mine in Mexico, and they love each other. That's it. That's their plot. That's their character
Do
development.
we really need anything else? The priest doesn't even get character development.
The priest doesn't.
No one.
He's just like a mildly skeptical priest. That's it. There's nothing else. Nothing. Fuck it.
Who cares? It's hour and 19 minutes. We just want horror shit, and we get it.
Because we didn't need our time wasted.
We get ridiculous hand horror.
We get an absolute fucking insane. We get a movie where someone had an idea, a gimmick. Because every trash horror movie needs a gimmick, and in this case, it's a disembodied hand. And boy, they wring every bit of content out of this fucking thing.
Yeah, and do a pretty damn good job doing it because it's entertaining as fuck.
It is.
Maybe you'll. I mean, honestly, okay. I have to give a disclaimer here. A lot of people will think this is dumb. Okay.
Oh.
Like, listen. Not everyone has a fucking dumb lizard brain like we do. Okay.
I get it.
Because a lot of people. But this is our review channel, so
Listen,
it's fucking awesome.
Will, are you aware, Will, that there are people out there? And listen, I respect all of you, but I this is not me. But there are a lot of people out there
know what you're gonna say.
who they will watch the opening of this movie, that opening 3 minutes, and they will watch that opening 3 minutes and they would turn off the movie.
I don't know why you would.
Me?
I would continue.
I watched that opening 3 minutes where there's a bunch of dudes dressed like KKK members for no reason, and it's like a dungeon, and you get that fucking flashing demon, which looks epic, and there's boobs for no reason, and then there's a hand that gets cut off, and it starts...
Honestly, if we didn't have the podcast, I'd just be curious. I would continue watching.
And it starts flopping along, and I would watch that, and I'd be like, yes.
You're like, I'm into this.
I'm into this. But there's people who will watch that, Will, and they'll be like, this is bullshit. This is garbage.
Yeah, fuck this movie.
And they'll turn it off and go on IMDb and give it a 1 out of 10 and forget about it.
They'll do like we did with Puma Man. Want to just like end it all.
Do not compare this movie to Puma Man.
Listen, it's kind of unfair to compare any movie to Puma Man.
Do you know how... Well, this movie is like a fucking cinematic like masterpiece.
You can compare
like,
a lot
at the very least.
You can compare a lot of movies that are cinematic. Like if you want to go that low.
Well,
if you compare any of the movies, a lot of the movies we've watched to Puma Man, they're all cinematic.
Well, at least for as insane and stupid as this movie is, at least it looks like a fucking movie. Like
and the effects team actually tried.
Like there's editing, there's pans, there's dolly shots, there's like quick shots, there's quick edits, there's effects, explosions. Like it looks like a movie.
They didn't just have a terrible effects team that was lazy and just wanted to put a bunch of people in front of a green screen.
It's not just someone's travel footage on a green screen and like people dressed in fucking trash bags. Like it's just, this is a movie. As low budget and stupid as this is a fucking movie.
I think you should watch it because no matter if you like it or not, you're gonna get entertainment value out of it.
I think if you are in that mindset, where you can watch that opening and enjoy it, I think it's worth a watch. Because another thing is, like, when I was looking at this movie, here's the thing, I don't read reviews of these. I don't give a flying fuck.
Right, I never do.
But, like, sometimes when you're looking at these movies, it's inevitable that you'll glance over something.
Yeah.
And I glanced over a few, and there were reviews that said that, like, oh, this is only worth it for the opening, like, 3 minutes. And so, like, I kept that in my head, and honestly, like, I disagree.
I think it's worth it for the whole fucking movie.
Because, like, don't get me wrong, the opening 3 minutes, there's a lot that happens. And it gets you, like, into it. Because immediately I'm like, oh, we got gore, we got demons, we got all this shit. Like, I'm into this. But the rest of the movie is fucking great.
Yeah, because it's hilarious. And how ridiculous it is.
Insane.
Like, it's just entertaining as fuck.
Look, we both said it. That was some weird shit.
But it's our kind of weird shit. It's our brand.
It's our kind of weird shit.
I challenge you to watch the first 3 minutes. That's all I'm asking.
Just the opening.
Just watch the opening. It's like 2 minutes long. Just watch the opening. If you don't like it, turn it off. I'm not going to make you watch the movie. But if you do, give it a chance.
If you do, just trust me. It's only 80 minutes. It's not...
Give it a chance. It's only an hour and 19. It's not like it's going to waste your time because it doesn't.
It really doesn't.
Just give the first couple minutes a shot. See if you like it. And then... let us know what you thought, you know? Like, I don't know. We're on every fucking podcast site available.
Listen, if there's a podcast site out there that you listen to and we're not on there, by all means, please tell me, because...
if there's some niche fucking one we're missing.
Because I've spread our ball sacks over every fucking... We're on Spotify and everything. Like, tell us.
I would just love to hear from... anyone who's seen this movie, like, please.
Yeah, if you've seen this movie, by all means, tell us.
Like, because I want to know, like, how and why. But mostly, what did you think about it? Because if you liked it as much as we did, I'd like to talk with people like that.
Yeah, like, I want to know, like, we can't be the only two people who like this movie.
And we're not, I mean, you know, it's recently discovered we're not the only two people that like Death Force.
Which I'm glad.
It's like, that's good. I'm glad that movie has at least a small community that loves it because I love it.
Grow.
So, go watch this
Demonoid
movie and then say you watched it and let us know what you thought.
Yeah. Because guess what? You'll be part of a select group of people that's fucking watched this thing.
That's had the privilege of watching Demonoid. So shitty to pretty. How would we rate this?
Uh,
I don't know if it gets top marks for me.
I mean, it's not
because,
gonna get fucking.
like, it's not a 10 out of 10. Obviously, it's not best of the best material, but like just because of how fucking ridiculous
I
it
give
is.
it, you know,
Going off of sheer entertainment value alone.
this is for me. This is like old reliable. 8 out of 10.
Yeah, I think 8 out of 10 is a good spot to put it.
It doesn't go like crazy enough to like go to like 9 out of 10, and it's not like genuinely like good enough
No,
to go 10 out of 10.
because honestly, I'm not gonna lie here. As you probably know, we made fun of this movie the entire fucking time.
No, this is not a quote unquote good movie,
It's just funny.
but it's not a bad movie if you
No,
catch my
it's
drift.
very entertaining, I would say.
It's very entertaining. I mean, look, like I said, it looks like a movie, which it does look good. It's a good looking movie. I mean, it's filmed on location. There's stunts. There's effects. Like, I can't criticize it on that level.
No, I can't knock it for any of that. So yeah, 8 out of 10. I think it's a good place to put it. Yeah. So I don't know, like anything else to say about Demonoid.
I don't think so. I really don't.
Yeah, I don't know if you like idle hands or shit like that. Just watch this because I guess this is the origin story.
This is yeah, the OG not trying to be funny, Idle Hands,
I think that makes it even more hilarious.
which makes it even more hilarious because there is some there are some parts in this that are just so insane.
Yep.
That I don't know how you can't not find them funny.
Yeah. So
That's it.
thanks for listening. For They Mostly Come Out at Night. This has been Will,
This has been Alex.
and we'll talk to you all later.
Bye.
Bye. Remember, idle hands are the devil's